You are live. We're live, Diana.
Oh, we're live. I
We're
was
live.
wondering what that thump was in my chest. Must be the heart.
Oh, man. Who are these energies? Huh? These energies are something else today.
I'll
Hey,
say.
Ginger.
And that's not even the eclipse. The eclipse
No,
is not until the morning. 7
no.
o'clock. 7, what? 7:18:11 is
Oh,
the closest I could get it.
I got 6:57. Oh, yeah, that's right, because I'm right before I'm on the East Coast.
Yeah, you're on the East Coast and I'm on the edge of the Eastern
Eh,
time zone. So the closest I could get it was within 36 minutes of arc.
I think you did an excellent job.
Well, thank you, darling.
We anytime we're in this pre-phase, this is kind of why we came on earlier, right? Because we usually would have came on the night of, but that would have been over. And you need to know about this period of an eclipse as it starts the build up. Now it's been building up for weeks, months, really. But I mean, we're gonna be here. We're gonna explain. So if you have questions, please drop them in there in the chat because there's a lot going on, and it does make makes a lot of sense for us. Excuse me, as we are closing down one era and
Right.
going into the new era, and that's pretty much where we're sitting right now, huh?
And if
And
we think about it, this is the draconic reset. So to have this in Aries, which is what the axis of the nodes were when we all got this draconic reset, right? So now we're with that in mind, this is closing out those 18 months of Aries Libra access, as well as 2022.
and as well as Age of Pisces, 26,000 years. I just keep going on. And every
Right.
time that Kali Yuga, right? All the things
Oh,
we talked
that, yeah.
about last time.
Oh my gosh,
I
yeah.
mean, this is epic, and I can't, I still can't get a proper word for it, but extraordinary. It's just an amazing time to be alive, and it is bumpy. I mean, it's going to be fact. And
Yeah.
eclipses last a little while, and this is where um, the moon, because it's a solar eclipse, and the moon is blocking out the sun. Am I correct? Yes. Yes. I always get for a second. So Earth, if it would have been a total eclipse, it totally blacks it out. But it's 93%. It's a super moon, so it's very close to us, and we get that little crack of light, right? But while it's in the dark phase, that's removing. It's removing as it's exposing what is not in the truth, what is not in integrity. So, and it's an Aries. So let's say Aries is the first
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 sign.
first sign of the zodiac.
First
Now
house.
I'm really hyper because this energy is very hyper. I love it, but it's woo. But it's the first sign, the first house, and I am is about. I mean, Aries is about I am, right? So we are really. This is the point where we are going in. And this is going to play out. It doesn't happen overnight, right? But this is where we are recreating ourselves, our identity, because that's what this is about. It's about us bringing in all the things we've learned since, let's say, 2012, all the skills and abilities and the knowings of who we are and what we prefer to focus on instead of just being, out there in the world hanging around. So we get to create the details, right? And this eclipse blocks out, takes away anything that is holding you back, holding you up. This is an excellent time all day tomorrow even to release if you have things that you want to go do ceremony. there's a million ways. We're going to get into more of that in a minute. But this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. And it's a 9-degree.
Yeah, 9 degrees. So if we look at that 9 degrees and think of it in maturity level, it's thinking about giving up the Barbie dolls. They're not quite ready to commit to that yet. Or whatever, whatever your favorite toy is. Let's look at it that way. We're still a kid. We're still running ragged when we wanna. And we don't want to have any conformity. We want it our way. What's going to hold us back the most is, that Venus and Mercury being retrograde. They're what is slowing up the progression right now, but it's important.
Yes,
it's very important.
Yes.
And tomorrow, when we look at this chart, Neptune is going to be in between Venus, Neptune, and Mercury, headed towards that Aries sign. So tomorrow at the time of the eclipse, Mercury will be at 0 degrees of Aries. Neptune will be at 29 degrees of Aries. Both of those are power, because how do you look at 0 degrees?
Well,
it can be the 30th degree, because essentially that's what it is of Neptune. But it is 0 degrees because it doesn't take long for 0 degrees and 0 minutes to turn into 0 degrees and 1 minute. So you are egressing into the next sign, right?
And we do got to point out that 0 degree is the 0 degree of starting the new cycle, the new year, this is spring equinox. We see the 0 degree. But we've had this pile up sitting there. Like she said, Neptune's at 29 degrees of Pisces, the last degree of the zodiac. Neptune, Saturn, Venus, and Mercury will hit over that 0 point 3 times each.
And the other thing is we have a major stellium in Pisces and a major stellium in Aries, and that makes them parallel, because what are they? 30 degrees, right? And 30 degrees apart, or in that kind of a conjunction where they can still see each other. They can see around the shoulder of the guy standing next to them to see who else is there. So essentially, they are still working together. The two signs are doing this together. So that's very important.
Yeah, very. This is telling us, Spirit is telling us, the universe is, everything is telling us this is the new. And it's just the beginning. It's going to take a minute for that stuff in Pisces to come through the Aries. But like we were saying, that North Node, like we were saying, that Neptune and Saturn will retrograde in the fall, back over these degrees. Now, Venus and Mercury, they should be clear around May 1st, out of shadow and all that. And we'll have a better idea of what we love and value Venus and the communication we got from Spirit that's coming in with that Mercury. So
the other nice thing about this, at the time of the eclipse, Heart's Fortune is right there. In between
I
Mercury,
don't have that. Oh, yeah, it is.
In between Mercury and the Sun is the Parts of Fortune. So that's going to continue to move throughout the day. So pay attention to omens and messages that are surrounding you, Those are the things that will help you begin what this eclipse is all about. What is that, right? So like I said, the Venus and Mercury retrograde is what's going to slow us down. But even though they're slow to ignite, you can put it together for the projects you're needing to begin, the things that have to get done. Doesn't have to be done today. It can wait till. But if you set your course, there will be no surprises when you get there, because all your tools will be in a row, all your finances will be together, and all the materials will have been delivered. So it's initiation, and it's leadership, and it's new tactics and strategies. And then also in that, we will find adventure and new paths and pioneering, new ways of which to be doing things. What's going to come back is the inner and outer demons that we battle. They're going to feel reignited. But don't forget, in this retrograde, even though they may think they're reignited, you're gathering your tools, because when it goes back over the third time, you'll have things in place in order to be successful with what you're battling.
Exactly. This
and that could be a leak in a bathroom, you know?
Absolutely. But this year is what's Spirit is aligning us onto our spirit teams, onto our authentic path. That's really starts around 2026, 2027. This is to release. Okay, this is to release and to receive new information. And Annie Bear, when Diana and I discussed these charts, it's all about the collective. All these energies are very powerful, and they're going to hit everybody exactly where your Pisces and Aries is, that 0 point. But it's more than that. I mean, it's so much more than that in a chart that there's just no way to just kind of highlight it. I mean, in a reading, we could, a personal reading. I would read it today. I needed almost 3 hours to explain to this person who had a 0-degree Aries. Could you believe that? I mean, my mind was just like, boom. I was getting so much information. So it's epic. That's all I can say. It is just epic. And we're feeling into it. As we're closing down the old, Diana and I were talking about this in the back. There's a grief of that is not coming with us, even though we might not even be able to label whatever that is. It feels like this inner grief, right? We're being upgraded with our worthiness. Aries is about worthiness. I am fill in the blank. And honestly, what is that you believe? And if there's which all of us have, an issue with faith and belief on who I am, that's getting cleared up throughout the year.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, it does. Well, Saturn plays a role in this too.
Oh my goodness, yes.
He's at he's in a half square, and there's a half square with this also going on with Uranus. So Uranus is making us restless and adding a little tension, and we want to get going, but we can't because
you can't.
The other thing about that Uranus is, so we have this sextile between Uranus and Mars, but the problem is they're creating a yod, right? Right up there to Estrella. And who is Estrella? She is the goddess of justice and the things that you cannot let go of until you feel justice.
Where's she at? Where's Estrella?
She is at 22 degrees of Sagittarius. Mars is at 22 degrees of Cancer.
Yeah.
And Uranus is at 24 degrees of Taurus.
And isn't this okay? So there's a lot of asteroids. Everything's in play. This is the world point. The world is changing. This is epic. I don't even know. But so as Diana was talking about Estrella and Mars. Now Mars, he's been out of bounds. He's just getting his speed going, but he's really on the other side of all this, not on the other side, but far away from it. Now, Saturn is conjunct the North Node in Pisces, right? Or pretty darn close. Let me make sure.
Yeah, close enough to say so.
Yeah, and that is our way forward. So
Right.
as soon as Saturn passes over that North Node, Neptune already has, everybody already has prior to Neptune, all those planets in Pisces, that really kind of locks in the trajectory of the world. It's so much is going to play out. So much is being exposed externally, politically. Just today, I mean, look at here, Diana. What would you say that signal stuff that they got jammed up with? That you're just not going to get away from that. It's just going to make it deeper and deeper and deeper. Right?
We're going to look at that as the reigniting of demons we've been battling.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Right?
This is spirit. Think of it like this. Pisces is spirit. Everybody's going through spirit. The sun went through spirit. Neptune is going to change signs tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, I'm sorry. Sunday. And when that Neptune spirit hits Aries, the I am, Neptune is everything's going to click into place. And he's going to know what actions to take and where to take them and when to take them instinctively, because it's spirit, psychic, intuitive. And I mean, but like we said, we have to go over that 029 point with 4 planets before there's clarity. Now, it doesn't mean you're not going to get direction. It doesn't mean that you're not going to experiment with, okay, where's feeling into your next best thing, whatever that is, right? What was I going to? Oh my goodness, where'd it go? Take action, owning your independence. That's going to kind of go forward. This Aries is about giving you courage, the courage to be the I am. That your higher selves are coming in more and more and more, and that's given us the courage to know we know who we are. But again, doesn't happen overnight. I'm sorry, Diana, go ahead.
You know, and I like Rossi said here, we are grieving what is comfortable, whether good or bad. Changes are comfortable and scary, but also exciting. And that grief, you know, there's so much to be said about grief. We have to go through it, and it's so often looked at as just something we have to go through. But quite honestly, there is a lot to be said in owning your grief, in reclaiming your grief, because it is like your shadow. It doesn't go away completely. It finds a nice little corner to curl up in after the newness of it wears off, but it always comes back. It always reminds you of the people you have loved and lost.
That broken piece in the heart over whatever that grief is about, right? Yes. I mean,
right.
Hi, Terry.
How did that happen?
Let me say hi to everybody.
I know, you know, and I can't,
it'll work. You
golden
got
light
it.
just keeps following me. I keep trying.
I think it's really cool. It looks like there's an eclipse of the sun right behind you, and the sun is just beaming out. I love it.
I just, you know, if I hold my hand there,
it'll pass.
You can see. Yeah, we said that an hour ago.
It will. Hey, maybe that spirit wants to shine bright right now.
And we should let it, right? And
yes.
We should let it.
So we say hi to Terry, Sal Rods, Viviani, Annie Bear, Rossi. Thank you. I love that comment, Rossi. Peace, Mama.
Sacred grief, sacred rage. Someone there, Viviani, said you and I look great. So thank you, Viviani.
Thank you. Linda Kennedy, Janet P. I'm trying to get to Lauren Hunsinger. Nice to see you. Kim B lives in awe. I hope everybody's doing good. You know, do definitely do something, whether you speak it, write it, release what needs to go, or talk about what you're grieving, right? Either way, as we acknowledge things that we are feeling. You know what, Diana, I heard this the other day, and it really, really hit me hard. We've been taught not to process our emotions, you know, because that old world was very dangerous to show your emotions. Now, I'm a Cancer. Inside, I process my emotions, and I just thought everybody's Cancer or Pisces or Scorpio took care of that. But no, it doesn't, you know, and that's something that it is new for us. And every time we have a new skill or a new ability or a new way of being who we are, again, remember this is Aries, the I am, it takes time to implement it. So if you're not used to, which I think most of us here are used to our emotions, but if you're not, you know, give yourself the grace. This year is all about the grace of allowing yourself to, one, not be perfect, and not take that as a critical hit to your beingness. Not to take, oh, I'm just unworthy because I'm not perfect. We're all perfectly imperfect. We're perfectly perfect. Yeah, we really are. And it's so important that we we become, you know, our cheerleader for the we're the main team. You know, it's not that we are not a collective and we are all one, but to be your authentic self and be real with yourself, that's the way forward into the new earth. Do you think so?
Yeah.
Dinah does look very beautiful with that light behind her.
Huh. This is what's so crazy is I tried to get rid of it, and the sun was not shining most of this day. It didn't come out until I came to sit down in this chair.
Spirits,
I don't know what that says, but it's definitely saying something.
Peace, Mama.
Peace, Mama.
Yeah, isn't that nice? You are brilliant like that.
Right? Well, this is for all of us, not just me, that's for sure. Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a deuce, another runner in the night.
No, Diana sent me the best thing this morning. The best thing. It was a short of War Pigs by Ozzy, Black Sabbath, and oh my God, the visual art was just phenomenal, and it just kind of summed up the day. And I still haven't got a chance to go listen to the whole song, which I wanted to do all day.
Oh yeah, well, it's going to be an Ozzy concert when we get done. That's for sure.
Hey, that's, you know, we gotta bring it in. Yay!
Yeah, bring it in, bring it on in. Like Coach saying, "Come on, boys, bring it on in. Take a knee. I got something to say. You played a great game, but you didn't win."
I'm so glad to be listening. Hi, Janet Lee G. I'm glad you're here too. And so as we, okay, to me, I know that's what I'm going to do later. I have a little altar set up. I'm going to do my thing with, do cinnamon, burn a green candle. Oh, yeah. But that's after I release what I feel. My thing is unworthiness, confusion, and doubt. It's the same shit every time, but I keep going and keep trying and keep doing it and keep doing it and doing it. And you know, that's how these moon cycles work. But this is huge. This is the closing down of all of those time periods we were talking about. It's the closing down of this Aries Libra axis. So when Aries and Libra, Aries was the north node in this case, Libra was the south node. They just changed in January. So now we have Pisces in the north node and Virgo in the south node. So that Virgo south node release point, which is all over there by itself. But when you're releasing, give it to that. Give all those things. Like I'm going to give it my unworthiness, confusion, and doubt, you know? And I'm just
right. And Mercury is retrograde in Pisces, right?
It's about.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's getting ready to go back into Aries where he came from, right? Or am I saying that right? You
He
know what I
won't,
mean. So
yeah, he, go ahead. Sorry.
well, he also controls Virgo.
Oh, yeah.
He has
Okay.
rulership in Virgo, where that south node sits by itself. And what is going to be difficult is our throat chakras and getting it out there and communication. So the best thing to do is write it down. Grizzly,
Yes.
I got everything on my lap. You'll have to go.
Burn it or rip it up, bury it in the back, because it's an eclipse, right? Something's going.
Yes.
Something's going. It would be good to know or have an idea of what that is. You know?
His retrograde and that south node in Virgo is drowning in subjectivity. We are being subjected to things that we normally would not be bringing upon ourselves. That is absolutely true.
Unbelievable what we've had to. But we signed up for it. We could go into that too, you know, and we are the batteries that are anchored into Earth, and as those energies, those light codes, those neutrinos, protons, neutrons, all come into the atmosphere, come and connect to us. It makes us, our battery, stronger. You know, it gives us that. We're just getting stronger and stronger as the time goes on. But look what this eclipse can do. And earthquakes, volcanoes, right? All that.
So, as I said, this is a time to pay attention to omens and messages, the little bits and pieces that sometimes go by, the parts of fortune that turn out to be a blessing in disguise, because that is in there at the same time as the eclipse itself, though it moves on through the course of the day. You want to take charge of impulsiveness for yourself, and you need to be mindful of impetulance and aggression, be it towards you or you emitting it towards somebody else. Events and stories that are woven through this time because of that Venus Mercury retrograde are going to take several months to play out. So what we're feeling about things that are out of our control is, how are we going to gain control? And perhaps we never had it, and it was just an illusion to begin with.
Thank you.
So what can we control? How we deal with it? What's the story we tell ourselves on that? Do we tell ourselves, remind ourselves of punishment and all of the things that can go wrong? It hasn't happened, so don't bring it upon yourself. Right?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. I was answering Viviani. Viviani, yes, this is the time to release.
Yeah. And since it happens bright and early in my time frame, it's going to be even earlier in California. So do your things tonight and all through the day tomorrow, because we're still under the influence. It doesn't just go away overnight. And you're going to feel, depending on your chart, it is certainly going to enhance things at this degree of 9. Anything you have in your chart at 9 degrees is going to be aspected some way, shape, form, or another, be it a square, a half square, a sextile, a trine, an opposition, a conjunction, anything you have at 9 degrees, which includes the orbs, which is like 2-3 degrees in that direction, 2-3 degrees in the other direction. So those things are going to be enhanced in your chart, and those don't move. So once they light up, you're going to notice it.
Yeah, and it doesn't, definitely, if you know where Pisces and Aries are, know that those areas of your chart will get lit up. if there's 9 degrees of either of those in there, that's really getting lit up. And like she said, it could be aspected in any way. You know, if you really want to get into your chart, you know, Diana's information, my information is below. We can definitely this is the best. I'm not saying this because I'm an astrologer, but right now is an excellent time to get your chart read so you can see how things are going to plan out the next 3 to 6 months. You know, we can pretty much see, you know, these bigger energies. I'd say 3 months maybe now, but this is, and you got to remember, humanity, us individually, we're always evolving. We're always stuff in our chart. It should be lit up. Look, this is what your chart looks like. When something lights it up, it bangs off of everything else. Yeah, it's like pinball, you know.
For sure. For sure.
It's pretty cool.
So logic and intuition are something that can work hand in hand as long as you recognize that within yourself, where it lies for you, right?
Oh,
and intuition, when used properly, brings you to a place of logic, because how many times do you want to do something, right?
Absolutely. Well,
it's the old adage, measure twice, cut once.
Right, and you're bringing up an excellent point. Because this is Aries. I am filling that blank. But on the lower side of Aries is ego, is rushing through, not taking your time. If at all possible, keep your ego in a neutral position. You know, don't take anything personally, because you got to think about it like this. Everybody's going through the same stuff on some level. So
that first house of Aries is the I am that I am. And you can't do everything by yourself. And so if you are in a position where you have to delegate, how do you say that? Are you commando or a commander?
Oh, I like that. Commando. And now, and that's a good point. This is an Aries new moon partial solar eclipse. It's ruled by Mars, because so Mars wants to, and that part of us wants to bypass all the I don't got time to listen, and just jump and react. You don't want to react, you want to respond. You want to, like Diana just said, use your intellect, use your psychic abilities and intellect, and marry them together.
Yeah.
Yes. Good one, Viviani. That's what I'm doing too. I have a bunch of leaves I've written on and burn them. Yes.
Yep. I'm with you on that. Yeah. My indoor cauldron's getting warmed up as we speak.
Is it? Mine is getting. How big is it? I bet you have a nice size one, huh?
Well, I've got 3, but the one for inside the house is a little. I have an 8-inch cast iron frying pan that I use to hold candle, and then I have a 12-inch frying pan. Not 12-inch. What's the next size? The 10-inch cast iron frying pan that I do the spell work in.
Oh, cool. You know, I have to show you, I have to send these pictures to you. Kim B, she found these huge cauldrons. Oh my God, Kim B. Those are huge, like in the yard, they're so big. You know?
Well, I've got 2 outside that are huge that I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
One is bigger than the other, but they're definitely old, you know, what do you call them? Wagon train cauldrons.
So cool. So cool. So cool. So,
well, you know, we also have Mars going into a 5-day, 4-day trine with Saturn. So when that happens, this is a great aspect to close out the month of March, because it starts on March 31st. And so what is Saturn about, you know? He's trying to, well, he's trying to cling to the old ways, and some of the old ways must stay. But it is, it shows us how to make serious business, and healing is the first serious business we should focus on. Now, a lot of things that are going on can come under that title of healing.
I'm gonna, whenever you're done. Yeah, no, it's important. It's important to take your,
Rossi,
your way through things in your own way, right? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I think the belief that what is good for some is not good for anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work that way, especially now, because we are so spread out, and putting your crystals out in an eclipse. Well, if they've been dedicated and used for the same thing over and over again, don't you want to shaft that energy? Even if you're recharging it all the time when there's a full moon or a new moon, there's an opportunity to clear it completely. And so it's all in the eye of the beholder. How do you feel about it? If it's something that's been haunting you for, let's say for your whole Saturn return, for this whole 30-year cycle, it's time to burn it. Like all of my medical records, it's time for me to burn them from 30 years ago. Let it go.
Yeah. I don't even know when I did it, but it did work. Felt good. It's important to go by your instinct. Okay, this is something that Pisces, sitting there for so long, and Neptune in Pisces, which is spirit, has opened. We know we're psychic. We know everybody is intuitive, psychic. You're some sort of healer on some level, or a medium, and all of that is just going to continue to grow as we have been getting to know ourselves and what we have available to offer, or what, that's going to grow. So you could be at a different space in time. Maybe, your releasing is pretty basic, pretty simple, same thing. That's what I do anyway. And I mean, not saying I don't struggle with it, but
right.
I always want to, after the release, then I want to speak my intention to the universe.
So if we're releasing it and we're saying them, we're still putting it out on the air. So if that old school of thought, because Rossi, that's how I was raised in my practice, early days of my witch practice. And so what's the difference? If I burn it on a piece of paper, I haven't said it, or on a bay leaf, I haven't said it, I've written it, and I've released it through the flame and the smoke. If I say it, it's still out there on the ether, and I still have to wait until the wind tears it apart. So it's, it's 6 of one and half dozen of another ways of looking at it, because we have technology that didn't exist in the early days.
Right.
And that also changes things, right?
Right. And our technology wasn't fully intact those days either, right? We've been being dialed in.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, spirituality, or I'm sorry, psychic abilities and intuition, it is a specific skill, that we've all learned. We all took the time to come to understand that there was something else going on. A lot of people don't think like we do or believe like we do. But the more that we respond to the all that is the universe, the ether around us, the more it responds back to us. And then, did you see?
I did. So Denise, just contact me through my email. I am all out of dandelion, and I won't have any until probably the first week of June, end of June, beginning of July, because I have to get enough to make a batch. And I believe in no mow May, so I don't mow the lawn, and I'll get a bumper crop of dandelions in May. But they have to sit for 6 weeks. I can't fast warm them in order to get the juices, because they're dandelions. They have to sit. They're tender. They're delicate. So they have to sit in the oil for 6 weeks in order to get all the medicine out of them. And then with that oil, I make the sap. So it'll be June before I have some, end of June.
I love what Randy said. She knows her wings are going to sprout any second. She knows. Oh,
I have comfrey and plantain on hand though, so I can get you that.
Randy's birthday is tomorrow, and it's on
Randy. Yes, dragon wings are coming. You're right.
Yes, they are. And I love what you say up here, Rossi, is manifesting during the eclipse that I'm questioning. Now, see, this is what Diana's trying to say. There isn't one rule. We are all different and unique, and we can go by our gut instinct, okay? Because that's what this is all about. Your psychic abilities are being merged with your I am abilities, so we can trust ourselves more. It's very important. Now, if these planets were in any other place, there'd be a whole different reason what's going on. But this is where it's at. This is what we're learning, or what we're going through.
So this is happening. The eclipse is happening in Aries. Now, I might think twice about things because my North Node is in Aries. And it's my South Node that I need to release. So I would wait until that Libra eclipse to do a major house cleaning, because the South Node is about the release, so that you can move forward with the North Node. So, I mean, you can look at the aspects in your chart to make decisions if you want, or just feel it out. Anytime you choose. Right, Randy? Right, Rossi?
Mm-hmm. It's a solar eclipse. It's the last one in Aries. It is asking us, Spirit is asking us to combine our psychic abilities with our I am. But see, we hold ourselves back. I think this is really the lesson for the year coming up, is to allow yourself to grow. We have, we hide in a corner. We dim our light. We've done so many things that it is almost uncomfortable or unnatural to be this shiny, bright being, right? This is, and I'm not saying it in a narcissistic or egoic way either. I'm saying it, there is nothing wrong with putting your hand on your heart and telling yourself I love you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you for getting me through Thursday. Whatever. Thank you for helping me drive from point A to point B. Every little thing we do, we just kind of take it for granted. That's it, or this is like, I used to do this. Oh my God, if I could just get from point A to point B, I'll be so grateful. That'll be everything, instead of thinking bigger, and really enjoying the journey. But it's all an individual thing. But what I'm saying is allow yourself to grow and be who you are.
In space. Your own space for you.
Right.
You make space for everybody else. Don't forget about yourself.
Oh my goodness, right?
I guess it's do big bright things this year. You know what, Rossi, honey? That's right. It is. It is. This is a whole new reset. This is the draconic chart that I was talking about. Now that degree thing, that 0 degrees of the Aries Libra axis lasted 24 hours, and then they were in Pisces. And so then that whole thing changed. But and on that day that they were at zero, the whole world has a 0 degree north node and a 0 degree south node.
Absolutely.
And with that changes all of your signs except for one person I was just reading for who had a 0 degrees Aries and a 0 degrees Libra south node and north node. So nothing in their chart changed. They are just them. And that is that. But what happens with majority of us is there is a change of the difference between your north node, south node axis, and the difference to what that is to 0 degrees of Aries. So I'm a 24-degree Aries Libra axis. So it only changed a few degrees for me. So instead of being an 18-degree Gemini, on that day, my perspective is a 9-degree Taurus. And here's the funny thing. In Vedic astrology, I am a 9-degree Taurus.
Okay, so what Diane is, she's going through a different, like a list of different types of astrology, and there are a bunch of them. But when we come together, we go, we do Western Placidus. So this energy, even though yes, it's true, all those points and all those different flavors of astrology are coming in and hitting us either collectively or individually in a certain way through our chart, just like this is, Western astrology is. But I understand it's a lot of information too. And we are coming out with a lot of degrees and things, and it can be a lot. It's already a lot without.
The draconic chart is Western. This is the way we reset it because it happens every 18 years.
Right.
Because it's 18 months for each of these north and south node egresses from one sign to the next. So it takes more than 12 years because it takes more than 1 year for that to happen. So look at it roughly as every 15 years, we get this reset on perspective. That's all I'm saying. And it's only one day where you take a look at everything and how do you feel and what's your inner side telling you? Here, look at this side of the mountain for a change. What does it look like to you? Doesn't change anything in your natal chart. You are still your natal chart.
Right.
But it helps you get a perspective of the other view.
Another layer. And that's why, people who are astrologers love the layers. Yeah. There's so many layers and you can just, it's so cool,
What it does is help you assimilate the maturity of just the human journey. We age every day, and every year we may begin to feel it, and then suddenly we feel it, and then suddenly we get this perspective change, and now we're looking at it from our physical change. I can no longer go out and dance like a crazy lady for 13 hours, I might be able to get 3 hours in. Not today, but
that's okay.
Right. Now it's the way Bob said it. You're a lot less older, a lot more older, and you stop to think about your dignity. Well, sweet 16 is turned 31, right? So you think about things differently as you physically age, and that is just a way to get a perspective on the physical aging of your body. That continues every single time that happens because the degrees are going to be the same. Your natal chart doesn't change, and that 0 degree of Aries Libra is 0 degrees. So once you see it one time, you realize that is, now you're looking at this perspective change from the aging of your physical body.
Well, and as always, I think it always boils down to this. We have a choice, fear or love, right? and we can dig deeper to figure out who we are and understand these charts, or we could go to readers, or we could, I mean, there's just so many ways to get to know yourself. Have a past life reading, have an Akashic record reading from Diana. There's so many, and look how many readers are in this chat. You know, we all come at this new phase of the earth, of the world, in a different way. And the reason being, like, okay, this is truly, we are going from carbon based to crystalline based. And no matter how we get there, that's what's going on. And you got to be able to open up your all your perceptions, right? All your ideas of who you thought you were to who are you really. You are a soul, an infinite soul, in a physical body that's temporary.
Yes, right. You know, this is a year that some of these things haven't happened for 25,000 years. There's not been a lineup like this with Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Saturn, all of them.
It's
monumental. And the times they are a changing.
It is. And it's the sun, the planets, the earth. It's the sun's been doing all kinds of crazy solar activity. All of you who watch Erin, conscious, I just forgot the name of her channel. She shows you the graph every day. She shows you how it's going on. As she's experiencing it, right? We're all experiencing it.
And videos at midnight, man.
Yeah, and I mean, you're amped up, you're hyper, you're just like, whoa, you know, it feels so good, and then sometimes it feels so terrible, right? But it's something we all have to go through. But my point is, our nervous systems are being hit. Our nervous systems, they have just taken a beating for, my God, you know, really the last 26,000 years, but definitely since COVID. There has, before that, 2016, 2012, we can stop at all different points along the chart. This is us, you know, how do we become who we are as we're so amped up and full of all this energy inside of us? You know, how do you do that? And this is why we have each other. Thank you for being here. Y'all are just such beautiful souls. I mean, I come in and I was really amped up before, but now I feel a little calmer because you guys are here. I can feel your energy. Diana's calmer. We're truly in a metamorphosis phase, you know. And tonight, was it Venus and Neptune are conjunct. What you love, what you value, with an intuitive flavor to it, right? Mercury, how information coming from the cosmos, and how am I going to process that information that's coming through? Yeah, see, Rossi woke up electrified. Me too. I've been up with the baby. She had surgery the other day, but she won't leave my side now. I do have to shout out to somebody. And Elizabeth.
So we had that.
I want to show you guys her little outfit.
Sun, won't you come?
That's for my baby.
And wash away black hole sun, won't you come? We had that big black hole that really has not gone away nor closed up.
No, it's still there.
And you can fit 7 Jupiters side by side inside of this hole in the sun. And it is blasting. And another blast went, and we had these major earthquakes in Myanmar, and they felt it in Bangkok. And it's, if you have not seen pictures of it, oh my gosh, it was devastating. Everything did fall. It was like some of the film of New York during 9/11, And the crevices that are left behind from this earthquake, it looks like you could be standing over and looking down at the Grand Canyon in a couple of places. Grizz, it's just a cat. So,
And I'm sorry,
these are electrifying times. These are electrifying times. All of that, those flares that came out, if you couldn't move because of them, or if you were so invigorated, or suddenly exhausted, or suddenly awkwardly in pain, that's why.
Rossi, I didn't mean to remove your message about the doggy clothes. I don't know if I did that or you did that, but I went to reply on here and it immediately said message retracted. I didn't mean to do it if I did that. Heavenly blessed honey, fun. One says this is my, oh, she's got new shirts, I guess. She's got fun shirts. Yeah. I mean, and as we're coming into who we are and what we honor about ourselves as we keep growing, this is us imagining, reinventing who we are. This next phase of life is totally different from the old. It isn't the same old, using those old societal constructs, things like that, oh, you have to be this certain way. It's all that's being restructured, and we're the ones at the front line restructuring things. We get to do that. Are you okay, are you muted, Diana? Because of, okay, Rick Grizzly? Okay, got you. So we're going to let Grizzly have his moment. Let's see what else we got going on. This is the time to take charge of our lives. This is that door opening. It's an Aries eclipse. We're in Aries season. The sun is in Aries. We have, it's interesting how the spirit has designed this chart. It's mostly Pisces and Aries, mostly. And if you see how that arrow's pointing over to there, that's telling us that's where we're going, right? That's what we're doing. And I kept seeing, well, I think I did the thumbnail as a phoenix. Phoenix kept coming in for the last couple of weeks because that's what I'm seeing us as. We burn down to ashes and we rise again. We keep rising. We keep going down, keep rising back up. That nervous system, though, that nervous system needs meditation, lots of water, lots of love, honoring yourself. What else we got?
Hi, Garnet. That's what I was saying.
Hi, Garnet. So Grizzly's okay? He's good?
Oh, yeah. He just had to get the last word in. So every time I would tell him to be quiet, he had to go and then start all over.
No, Mom. I'm not listening.
Black Cat is out there, and Black Cat will sit on the other side of the door and taunt him. Which is my backyard neighbor's cat.
Let's see. So I have written down, okay. And then on top of all of this going on, Pluto's already changed signs to Aquarius. Uranus and Jupiter are changing signs in June and July. The
Uranus thing kind of has me excited because it happens on my birthday, and it just so happens that my natal Uranus is in Gemini, albeit at 29 degrees. So it will be a few more years, but I will have my first Uranus return when I turn 84.
84. That's how long it takes Uranus to go around the sun. So that's pretty dope. I think that you get to experience that in a few years.
8 years.
8 years. Yeah, I was going to say you're not near there yet. But when he does enter into your sign, I mean, Uranus is going to bring in so many changes, and we have the Sibley chart, America's birth chart, where the Uranus return is coming in. Oh, I wanted to say that about the in America's birth chart, and we're witnessing this, right? We're witnessing Chiron, the wounded healer, at the degree in that chart. It was 20 degrees Aries, and now Chiron's finally moved on to 21, but it's still going to take a little while. So all of that's got to play out. Oh, and I forgot, they became Chiron and Mars in Cancer are an exact square at 22 degrees right now.
Oh yeah,
So that's
this is why there's so much emphasis on healing, right?
yes.
And then the placement of Hygeia as well, who is I just was going to talk about. She's at 12 degrees of Taurus.
12 Taurus. Wow. Yeah, so she's helping us physically restructure things.
Right. And Aries is at 12 degrees of Pisces. Not Aries, I'm sorry, Ceres. So it is harvesting good health through new habits, because Hygeia is about prevention and the cure.
Oh, I love that.
And how to prevent it from coming back again. And so one of those things, Hygeia, hygiene. So that is one of those things. This new approach that we have to have, because we have already lived through COVID. And, you know, we're in changing times. You can expect more of the same thing as they are spattering the airwaves with this bird flu.
Yeah.
Here.
And that's on purpose, right? That and I don't really want to talk about politics, but we all know from the moment that quote unquote inauguration happened, they have been slamming humanity, the ethers, the energy, with shock and awe tactics, right? Psychological warfare. It's very hard to keep, okay, I can see that, I get angry and I come back, got to realign myself. But that's what our light, we're batteries, right? That's what our beam of light is doing here, is holding the space. And we're not going to do it perfectly every minute. That's ridiculous to put that kind of pressure on ourselves, right? But just, beware of that.
Rossi, her Chiron is at 7 degrees of Aries. So think back 3.5, 4 years ago, because Aries, he's at 22 degrees, and he's
longer than that. Shoot.
He's spending 7 years, and he still has 2 years to go.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
2.5 years to go. So think back 3.5 years. What was going on, because Chiron was lighting up your 7 degree Chiron. What physical things were, let's say they were chronic since childhood, just typical aches and pains of childhood that were coming back that you hadn't noticed since you were a child.
Well, and that means you had your Chiron return, Mossy, which we all have around age 50. And you can all remember when when I turned 50, everything fell apart. I couldn't believe how bad I felt, but that was the main reason. But you've got a few years on it, like Diana said. And
and this year was a Chiron return for me also, because mine is, I'm sorry. What am I thinking? I'm sorry. No, it's not. My Chiron's at 5 degrees of Sagittarius on my moon. So for me, there's a lot of emotions tied to it. And it's what causes some of the stuff, because lupus acts like a virus, and stress can intensify the viral effect of it, and make it active. So
that's what happened to me. Same thing in solar cycle 24, which we're in 25 now. I honestly thought I was going to die. I felt so bad. It was that extreme. But that was I didn't know anything about solar flares and how our DNA is upgrading. I had no idea. It was clearing out all the pain, trauma, and blocks. And that's really what's going on. I do believe everyone gets a, we might not be dancing for 13 hours like Diana said, but we do get to the other side of healing to a point that we can be content in life and comfortable, you know, for the most part, most days. Who else? Oh, what was I going to ask? Not where's Salacia? I know she's Salacia. Is it Salacia?
Celine?
Salacia.
No, that one I don't follow. I don't have.
Am I saying that right? Because Heather was bringing that up. My goodness, there's so many good astrologers, guys.
Well,
Oh, goodness.
If you know, that's probably one of the. That sounds like it's probably an Inuit.
Yeah, I think it's Pisces. I think she's in Pisces because that.
Oh,
again,
I listened to that video too, and I don't remember hearing it.
I know. I thought that's why I thought you would have it, but I forgot to write it down myself. So, but that is, you think about the light hitting the top of the water, you know, that bringing that sparkliness in, which I think that's what Heather was saying.
Well,
she was bringing that in.
Yeah, if you think of salacious, chocolate sauce, right?
Oh, yum.
Hawaiian, that might be another Hawaiian goddess or Greek. I'll have to look it up. My goddess book is way over there.
So, and then I got this, recoding with new base frequencies.
Recoding. Well, that absolutely. Oh my gosh, how many of us in our dreams are coders? Or meet with coders as they send us out on missions.
Right.
Like Callie Healer, she is a coder.
Right. I could read my writing.
I got lucky. I got to see a picture of Kim's new pool cue.
Yeah, Kim. It sounds awesome. It sounds beautiful. I love getting a new. Oh, I used to love getting a new pool.
That's what I need to do is go make a living out of shooting pool.
Right. Let's go back.
There's another karaoke moment.
Yeah, I used to do that.
I wish I'd never seen your face.
Now I need chocolate, right, Janet? Me too.
You made a first-class fool out of me. I'm as blind as a fool can be.
Well, we all played pool. I used to be good. I used to be on pool teams.
Yeah. I had one. We had one in the basement before Matt and I had to move to Virginia. Yeah. And we couldn't take it with us, not because we couldn't make them take it, but because we had no place to put it in Virginia. So what a shame. It wasn't a big tournament size either. It was a scaled back size. So I got really good on that table. And but I did bowl like a crazy lady in those days. I carried a 172 average.
I could
not
never
to brag. Now I couldn't even lift my own ball.
No, I could never bowl. So let's talk about Black Moon. Lilith just went into 0 degrees Scorpio. So this is something you all really, really need to hear and understand. Black Moon Lilith, wherever Scorpio is in your chart, is triggering our deepest fears. Now, when we're talking Scorpio fears, we're talking deep.
Right. Wherever Scorpio lands in your chart, and also your 8th house, because that 8th house is Scorpio's house.
Yeah. And we have to, well, we don't have to do anything, but it would be advised to, when fear comes up, to stop, acknowledge it, because Black Moon Lilith will help you. When you decide, I'm going to work through this fear, she comes right in and helps you. But if you're
Right.
going to ignore it under Scorpio, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse, and it's going to be very uncomfortable.
And Lilith is talk to the hand and turns her back, flips her hair and turns her back as she
But
walks away.
she will also, though, she's a warrior goddess, and you got to remember that's what you all are. There is a part of us, in all of us, that's a warrior goddess.
Right.
This isn't our first time, and this is um it's a 9 month cycle, so it's the end, right? It's like we're going to see it really play out in the external world, in the news. You're going to see some really raunchy things coming up to be acknowledged and reviewed and released, on the best level that we can. It's never pleasant to hear those things, but even if they're coming from someone else, it still is affecting us because it's so, this twisted, you know what I'm saying? That she
Yeah.
will be there with us and say, you can always call her in. You can always send it to the Virgo South Node. You can always utilize the parts of the chart that can really uh, uplift you. Because this is all about shedding old wounds, and don't be surprised. And I don't like to say this because this happens to me quite a bit. If something deep, dark will come up for me to be released, and I'll be going, what? I thought I did everything. But the minute I say that, I know I got more coming, so I don't say it anymore.
Right. I
Anyway.
love that, Rossi. We are warriors. That's why we came here at this time. You are right. Onward, light warriors. That's us.
We
Goddess
really, really did.
of every movement we have.
Yeah.
And I need chocolate now too. I can
I
taste.
know. Oh, what's the song, Denise? Oh, goodness, what she
Oh,
sang?
walk on by.
Oh, yeah, I
Walk
love that
on
song.
by. Yep. If you see me walking down the street and I start to cry each time we meet,
You guys don't need to
walk
hear
on
me.
by. Walk
Oh,
on by. I used to, God, I loved Dionne Warwick so.
oh my God, yes. I loved all Motown. That was my jam back then.
Yeah.
Um, so Venus and now, yeah, no, Venus tonight, Venus and Mercury are going back into Pisces because they need to get updated on some information. So you're going to have that dreamy, floaty feeling again. Neptune's going to leave Pisces by Sunday, but there's still planets, so there's still a lot going on there. So allow for the dreamy part, allow for the meditating, allow for the imagining, right? You want to imagine what is your, what is your like picture of your perfect world? Write it out and focus on that. Don't let the other stuff come in and take away your joy. Now, I know you can't focus on it 24/7, but at least keep it as a tool in the front of your mind so you can refer to it immediately if something is being,
Mhm.
going
Sometimes
on.
don't let anybody make you feel as if you're being self-centered, because sometimes that's what we have to do. We know the adage, you cannot save anyone else if you don't put your life
Yeah.
mask on first or your life vest on first. So you won't be there to help if you don't take care of you.
Oh, and that's perfect. In fact, I have with your spirit team, show me my most powerful self, but not power over in anybody else, power within. This is what all this Aries is about. It isn't about taking charge and running over people, it's about you controlling you, but bringing in that higher self, higher part of us, ourselves, to bring it into bring it down into this new earth era, this new earth, right?
Right? Aries is Aries in integrity
Sorry.
knows he cannot do anything alone. She cannot do anything alone.
Who?
Must delegate the rest of the body in order to eat, chew, swallow, breathe, heartbeat,
Mm.
move the elbow, stretch
Mm.
the arm, walk across the room, run across the field, jump. The feet, the legs, the ankles, all of these parts have to move at the direction of Aries, because Aries is nothing but the mind. She is cerebral. She is the eyebrow, the eyes, and the brain.
Yes,
She
yes.
cannot live without the heart, and the heart cannot live without the mind.
No.
They
And
must delegate first and foremost to each other. They are
right.
both fire signs, the first and the center fire sign of the zodiac. And then in that, are you a dictator
Yeah.
or are you a delegator?
Ah, I love
Are you
that.
are you what did I say earlier? Condo, or are you
Commanding.
commando? Are you
Command.
commando or are you a commander?
Thank
And
you,
it's all
Heavenly.
in delivery, and it's all in befriending the other body parts. Don't abuse them. And then you take that and apply it to others as well when in
And
your relationships.
right, it's always lead with the heart. That's another thing we're learning. We have dropping in that heart, right? The mind, make that decision. I'm gonna drop in the heart before I react or respond, or if I need to take a pause or whatever it is.
Right. So
Mm,
Denise is asking, what are we supposed to do with the cinnamon? So what I do and what most of us do is step outside your front door jamb and blow it into the entryway to bring
mhm,
good luck in. And
mhm,
if you have things that you need to get rid of it, open the back door and blow it out.
mhm. Yeah, and I do this a lot. I've like added it more than twice in the month because we have so many aspects and things going on. I mean, you could do this cinnamon thing for the next week. It'll really power up your intentions. It'll really power up the cleaning, and because it's a release moon too, I like to do salt. Like I put little dishes of salt in each room, or a salt outside my threshold. So nothing can cross over that I don't want coming in here. And it's not like something's coming in, but you go out, you go to work, you go to the store, you come back, stuff, stays, it keeps it separated off you. There's just so many cool little things like that to do. Pisces is our intuition. Now this is the North Node. Virgo is our gut. We brought this up last time. Virgo is the South Node. We have those two aspects of us have been cut off because of programming in society, right? If you followed your gut, well, you really don't get that. You didn't get that too much from uh, the world outside. You couldn't be psychic because if you were expressing that you heard voices or were uh, whatever, that didn't. They used to lock people up. Well, we were all probably burned, right, for speaking our truth and being who we are. The gut is important. That those two things are coming back online: the gut and your psychic abilities. So you're up here in your gut. And as I'm saying that, this is also what that solar eclipse in Aries is about. That is your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is being safety and security, right? It's where we create from. It's being targeted. It always has been since for a long time. But kind of do a little sacral chakra meditation, something, bring it up. Okay, first start in your heart. Drop into your sacral with your heart. Connect them and then bring it up to your solar plexus. This allows you to be who you are. It allows you to shine your light and be connected to your inner instincts, to what it is that you want to go forward with and create. My goodness, there's so many things that we could go on and on about. Saturn Neptune conjunction. Okay, so next February
Yeah, ready.
20th, 2026 is when Saturn and Neptune conjunct exact in Aries. Now, remember, they're both in Pisces right now, and they're going to go to Aries in a couple of days. Well, one is, and the next
Tiptoe.
one in May. Yeah. So this is going to play out. Honing your intuition, your intuitive skills, your psychic abilities. All of this Neptune is going to keep increasing. But as that's going on, it's cracking open people who aren't connected to their heart and who aren't yet uh, using their psychic abilities, right? Now we see the other side of that, where there's illusion, delusion, confusion, division, and that's pretty intense out there, you know. So I always just send that the truth. As with Saturn's restructuring how he even handles business going forward, and we're really not going to understand what that is, except that he's more psychically connected. He will be. I mean, he's already in Pisces getting that.
Denise, I have to laugh because every time I look at something in the chat, I hear a song. Denise, I just heard, you didn't have to love me like you did, but you did, but you did. And I thank you. You didn't have to squeeze me like you did, but you did, but you did. And I thank you.
Denise, that could be the first of the month, and new moon, full moon, your birthday, your kid's birthday. Anytime you get
I made it through this day.
Yeah, you get a hit to
I
do
got out of
cinnamon in the morning.
I got out of the car shop for only $50.
Right,
Let's
right,
go cinnamon.
right. Intention is everything, right, Randy? And it's so important. The more you can call it in and use it, the more it's going to pump up that intention energy around you.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
Oh,
we should be going every day now. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Diana.
No, I'm just not breathing correctly.
I know it.
I'm just not breathing right. I'm not getting air down into my gut.
See, my throat keeps wanting. Every live I've done in the last 2 weeks. They try. Well, not they. It's just like
Okay, that's your throat chakra talking
yeah.
to you, telling you, get it out there, spit it out there.
Spit it out.
Don't be afraid to speak. Speak your mind. Speak your piece.
I know. I don't think I am. But
Or you're getting a download for somebody in the chat who has a blocked throat chakra.
Oh, I love you too, Denise McMillan. That's so sweet. We love you all. I mean, really, it's just powerful stuff we're in, ladies. This is history making energy. Things are never going to be the same again, but they're going to be better than we ever thought. Just give it time.
Right.
We have the wisdom. I got Diana's got a couple cards too. I got wisdom and trust. Trust in your wisdom. Trust in your team. Our teams are always there guiding us. I don't know if you can see these dragons. Oh, they're so beautiful.
I love this deck. I don't use it enough. I've got
a baby dragon.
All right.
Sorry.
I've got Divine Feminine. Now, how appropriate is that for all that we've got going on?
I love that card. Let me see it again, please.
Sure.
Oh man, that is so cool.
Very creative, right?
Yeah.
The other card I got is Grace.
Oh, isn't that
Right?
that?
This one I have to look up because this is a new deck and I haven't been able to have opportunity to use it much, but it says Delphin. So I'm thinking Delphi, but let me see what the card has.
Mm,
Look at that head. Ah,
mm,
it's a
gorgeous.
two-headed one. One
Gorgeous.
is a lyran cat, right? Doesn't it? Can
Oh,
you see the
wow.
cat on the side?
Yeah. Gorgeous.
It's really not there. It's just an illusion. Okay, let me look this up. It is number 30.
30.
XXX. XXX makes it a guardian dragon.
I need that deck. That's the one we were just talking about, right?
Yep.
Which,
Oh, this is so appropriate because one of the things I said about our Saturn going on here is make healings a serious business. Make healing the serious business.
yeah.
Delphin is. You can choose to heal and be healed or swim in the riptides. It's your choice.
Ooh. Ooh.
Dolphin is the etheric counterpart of the whales and dolphins. Oh, I love it already. The whales are the earth's record keepers, and the dolphins are the spiritual ancestors in dream makers, dream weavers, let's say, brings back the dream from below the earth, below the waters. They carry the blueprint of our spiritual existence here on earth. This wise old dragon of the deep carries the same knowledge and understanding within the depths of his being. Delphin has to say about our journey is this: the waters of earth can cleanse or maim, support or take life. You too are faced with a similar choice. You can choose to heal and be healed or swim in the riptides. Neither is wrong. It is a choice. You have been faced with arduous situations at times and made some bad choices too. Remember, you are human. Forgive yourself anything.
That is powerful, powerful stuff there.
Yeah, that's a beautiful card. Thank you so much for giving it to us. I can see it. I must get more familiar with this deck. Where did Delphin go? So that was our final card. And that is really just an illusion. That cat head that I see here. It's not, it's really not a cat head. It's just his windswept.
Yeah, it's like the wind
right?
is blowing.
His gills.
Yeah.
Let's call it gills because of course they're saying he's a guardian of the waters. So imagine that.
I mean, and don't forget, we caught our teams. Call in your dragons, your angels, and your elementals. Anyone that you're working with, anyone that pops in, and Archangel Michael, he's popular. You know, Merlin, he's popular. Whatever shows up for you is for you, and you don't have to ice a question. Oh, did that really happen? Did he really do that? But I mean, they wouldn't appear. It wouldn't appear if it wasn't for you, you know, in your mind. This is.
Kim is telling me to come to karaoke night.
I saw.
I'm on my way, hon.
She's coming.
Randy, I love your dragon. Yep. No, she's there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when it's time to go out and about and we are like solidly in our new era, we're going to be able to hang out with each other, see each other, go forth and have fun and create this new world. And that's what we, you know, Randy and I were talking about this the other day. What does that look like? What are the details? What does that new world hold? What are the things that you want to see? be created, because we know what the old programming did, and we know we don't want that,
Right.
but we're the ones who are creating the new, and we've got to speak it into existence. So you're going to help create it. What you got now? I know you got something.
Well, I got this one over on, but it is get out of your head, reconnect
Ooh.
your body, go out and sing and dance.
I love it. I love it. I love that deck. Is that the
I do
one that?
too. I must get more familiar with it, which means if I just take it off the shelf and let it float around in the room, I will be playing with it.
Exactly. I know. It's been kind of challenging to play with my new stuff. There's so much information coming in, and
Yeah.
that stillness really important to have it come in, because that Venus and that Mercury are going to bring in new information, and that goes on until what we say the middle of April, but really not until clarity is around May 1st. But this is just going to go on all year. And of course, Diana and I will be back every new moon and full moon or eclipse
Or
or
major anything in between.
yeah, solstice, equinox. We love this stuff. Love it, love it, love it. Um, we are dismantling the old programming, and you gotta it's kind of hard to do sometimes. It's so sneaky. You catch yourself in that old programming and say, oh no, I see you. We're not going to do that anymore that way.
You right?
We have a new way of doing things. And
There's a
we're
new
the
way.
warriors.
There's a
We
new
are the
day.
warriors. What'd you say?
That's another song. There's a new way, a new day.
I still
There's a
got
song for everything, I swear to you.
yes. I know it does work for you like that. You got it. You got me stuck on Black Sabbath from this morning.
Right?
Undergoing a metamorphosis, shedding. We are shedding, 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 shedding. And
Oh,
that's a
there you
good
go.
thing to do. Oh, Diana, that's what I wanted you to do, if you wouldn't mind. You know, we can take salt baths. You can do this, like go down your body like this. But Diana, somebody had asked you the other day in the chat in Terry holding your space. I don't know if you saw it, to do a short video on how to do the drain in the lymph nodes.
Oh, okay. I
Like you,
sure you want me to do it now though too?
yeah, if you don't mind. Does everybody
No,
want
I
to?
don't mind at all because that would help me. I'm getting
Yeah.
fidgety because I haven't I did it when I got up this morning, but I haven't done it since. And normally I do it 4 times a day. So,
Go.
okay, so if in case you've missed that show, um what you need to know is that we have about 600 to 700 lymph nodes in our body, give or take. And 1/3 of that amount is in our head from our collarbone above. So when we open the drains, keep in mind that your left side has more. So you want to open the left side before you do the same thing on the right side.
Okay.
So when you start, let me get this necklace out of the way. You want to get in under your collarbone. So when you pick, you see how defined the bone becomes? When you
Yeah.
pick your shoulder up, you want to get your thumb in that crevice and wake that one up.
Oh
And,
my goodness.
and oh my God, when I do these, girls, I can feel it on the bottom of my feet.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
So you do it on that side. I do it about 10 times. You can press hard. You don't have to press hard. The weight of a nickel is certainly enough. But the harder you go, the more open it becomes. Then, just as in yoga, you always have to do to the other side of the body what you did to the first side. So then
okay.
you move over to the right side and you do the same thing. When you turn your head a little bit as well, you can get in there. And I rotate clockwise 5 times and counterclockwise 5 times.
Is it normal for one side to be more painful than the other?
Well,
Sometimes,
that just depends on how blocked that lymph nodes just happens to be.
apparently, pretty bad.
Apparently, right? Well, and you never know. You may have more on that one side than you do the other because your left side does contain more lymph nodes than the right.
Yeah.
So then you want to go behind your ear. You find that little bump right behind the ear and you slide down. Pick your thumb up. Don't move it up, but rub against the skin and get in there. And you will feel it when you hit that lymph node right there. You will feel it. And I pulled down like that 10 times.
Oh man. Oh my goodness.
I can my knees start to open up. My legs open up.
Yeah.
I can feel the blood flowing in the veins in my calves. The bottom of my feet open up and tingle.
Yeah.
And you have to go, of course, to the other side and do this again. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so relaxing. 6,
It really is. It's
7,
nice.
8, 9, 10. Then from there, you want to go to your armpits. So you want to get that crevice.
Here, down
And
here.
you want to grab the flesh in front because this is where you have some. And I go 10 times this way.
Oh wow. Oh my God.
And then I do the same thing and go to the back at 10 times. And just grab that flesh and don't be afraid to squeeze. There's plenty of it there, right? Whether it's a muscle when you flex or not, it doesn't matter. It's there. Okay, then do the other side because we have to keep them even.
Bye, Heavenly. Okay, so go over this side now. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. My
Now,
left side's a mess.
it's just a heavenly feel though
Yeah.
as it goes, right? Nice, Randy. It's a new day. It's a new dawn.
And right, poor came back at an interesting time. She said,
Right?
we're
When you
draining the
finish
lymph
with
node.
that, just doing that alone.
Yeah,
But we
this
want
is
to drain the whole body. So now we're going to move to the solar plexus and we're going to push to get under that rib cage as much as you can. You don't want to break a rib, but you want to get that going. So back and forth and in circles, but you want to make
oh
sure you get
man.
at least 10 good ones in there. And then move to your abdomen. Don't be afraid to push. Don't be afraid if you hear a little Mother Nature escaping. That's normal. You want to do that. But waking that up, oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm telling
Now
you.
my thighs are screaming, let's go, keep it up. So
Oh my.
after you get some good rubbing done in there,
Uh-huh.
these are big muscles.
Yeah.
So it can take a lot. It'll help things move inside your body. Think of what is piled up in that area of your body. And then go to the creases in your thighs and take your thumbs or a bunch of knuckles, but I usually
Oh.
go with my thumbs and you can feel which ones need to really be worked. Now that is a place where you can feel the lymph nodes, be they small or
Oh,
large. Most of them are a little bit bigger than pea size, like lima bean size, only round. So push on that and walk around through that crease
yeah.
and really give it a good massage. And by now you are feeling it in your ankles,
Yeah.
it throughout the leg. The leg itself is really beginning
Yeah.
to wake up. Now, it isn't necessary, but what I do is pinch my thigh muscles, walk my hands down to get to the back of my knee. So I squeeze the thigh muscle as I walk it down to get back there. When I get to the back of my knee, on the sides of your knees are lymph nodes, right? So my thumbs go to the crease in the back and my index knuckle and the whole side of the finger massage that side of the bone of the knee. At the same time, my thumb is digging into that crease. Now my feet are ready to be rubbed. And then I usually grab some of my salve and give myself a good reflexology with that.
Aww.
Now, also for your jaw, especially if you have TMJ, you grit your teeth in your sleep, a massage on the point of your jaw, right where the upper and lower meet. There are lymph nodes in your mouth, around your teeth, under here. So your thumbs under that bone, under your jawbone, just like you got in here, get under there. This one, these lymph nodes right here.
Oh man.
If you're prone to sleeping on one side more than the other, did you ever notice that all of the fluid in your sinuses drains to that one side, and then that one lymph node on that side becomes swollen? So you do that and you start to release that.
Oh, is that what that is? Oh my gosh.
And you'll notice that underneath your tongue, you're getting you're salivating a little bit more.
Right.
From waking all that up.
Oh my
and,
God.
The top of your head. Now, let me also add that this is the Merlin code, which just occurs in the head. It doesn't include the rest of the body. But doing the whole body is a way to break the cycle of pain. So to activate Merlin, you go do the one behind the ear and pull down. And then you do the tips of the jaw and pull down.
Oh my goodness.
I have added the temples because our temples are up here has lymph nodes also. But the temples are where we often store the headache. We might feel it here, but it is stored here and works its way in. Then massage your third eye. And the very top of your head, and the mandula in the back, right at the top.
That's a chakra back there too, guys.
That's right. The other side of your third eye is back there.
Yeah.
To do those at the same time is,
my goodness, something just cracked. Oh my gosh, I feel
and boy, did that breath finally get down to where it belongs. Yes, Bora Bora, draining the lymph nodes, ever so important. You're welcome, Denise.
Awesome. Oh my gosh.
Right? And and especially because when you first start doing this, it can feel awkward. It could even be painful. But before you know it, you're getting in there and really massaging it. Like, you can go to a masseuse and get that whole heavy body.
Yeah, get somebody to do this for us. Yes. Yeah, because you do on your face.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. The sinuses. There's lymph nodes just all around here.
Right here.
Yep.
Near those bones.
Yep.
Over here. Kim B says, I'm driving. This is dangerous.
For sure, but boy, will you shoot pool tonight. And when you do this, you're also releasing in the tear duct and in the eyes and the things that are building up and adding to cataracts, let's say, and there are ways to help you with a drop of castor oil to soften the buildup of cataract, and it really helps. It really does.
I did it on my dog. I'm not
saying mine have disappeared. I don't have that heavy duty ones anyway. But if I have forgotten to do that too many nights in a row, I begin to notice. Because especially my right eye, it is a different shape than my left eye. And so that right eye dries faster. For some reason, whatever that is. I don't want to know what the doctor thinks.
I know, right? This is
And what does he
magic.
know? He's just trying to sell me something.
And there's like, I don't know if she's going to do a little video on it, but definitely, I forget to do stuff like this. I always rush myself.
That's the other thing we have to do is slow down.
Slow down.
Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last, just kicking down the cobblestones.
See? Feeling
you do this.
groovy.
Feeling groovy. Whoops, I started that too low. Sorry.
There we go, guys. Here's our combination for the solar eclipse.
Ooh.
Obsidian and pyrite.
Very good.
Very good. And if
and there I have pyrite on both of these stones.
Yeah. It's powerful, 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 powerful. Sandstone will work too. But that really felt good. I mean, I feel like I'm going to lay in bed and just do that to myself. It seems weird, and that's part of, that's part of the, see, there's my throat. Hold on.
I have to tell you guys, I'm floored because I posted something on Substack yesterday, which really was a repost of a wonderful picture of Zelensky, and he's just a very handsome man. But the caption on it said "Leader of the Free World," and I agreed. And I went to repost it, but my post says, "His eyes say it all." And I have never had so many hits, particularly on Substack. Right. I have been getting continuous drop downs for the past 24 hours since I posted it.
Wow.
Oh my God, something I did went viral?
Yeah, and that's
Is that what you call that?
Yeah. And that shows us, right, that despite the media not speaking out about the truth, that we can see the truth without them. Oh my goodness, this feels so good.
Viviani, isn't that awesome?
It is so awesome, isn't it?
Yep. And this is magic you do for yourself.
And this is the self-care, right? This is doing, right? And I never slowed down enough to do this.
The blood is flowing through my arms. I mean, through my whole body. I just feel this rejuvenation. And so
absolutely,
I do it 4 times a day. I do it when I get up. I do it when I lay down in bed, and 2 more times somewhere in the day. I usually have a meditation at 4 o'clock, tea time, right? So I sit down for tea time and I have the meditation, drift off sometimes, sometimes not. And then when that meditation is over with, I do it.
Oh man!
Sometimes I do it before. It just depends on what the day's been like, But in there, I try to do it 4 times.
How you're taking the time to do these things, to just not only rub things out, but to meditate, to really just be with yourself. And this is kind of what we've been saying, for 2 years, to be, just be, right? Because we were being transformed and realigned into our authentic selves, right?
And you see what Belle's doing with her cold stones there? Doesn't that feel great?
Oh, yes.
Well, take a smaller stone and do it with a smaller stone, I
usually do, and I don't have my dragon stone here. Well, I got a selenite like this.
Right. I have a little jasper, Consider the stone. Consider what it can do for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that feels good.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
And you always want to, you're opening. So you always want to start at the top, working down. And the best place to start is that left side collarbone, because that is the biggest lymph node and the opener. That is the biggest drain. So you want to start with the biggest one first.
The left side first. I forget I have this. This is so cool.
Thank you, KSZ.
I know, that's Karen. Hello, dear. Yes. I mean, we got.
Oh my gosh, we've been on for It's going on 9 o'clock.
2 hours. I know we are. Does anyone have any questions? We are going. Happy birthday to Randy. Yes.
Yes. Happy birthday, Aries. All
Don't
the
forget.
Aries, but happy birthday, Randy.
Hi, Sharon Foster. Oh, thank you. As this weekend unfolds, right? Like right now, we're in the build-up of the eclipse. Do your release now, tomorrow in the afternoon, or whatever. Do your intentions at that time. That's what you want to kind of do, Rossi. Is time it out like that, especially with an eclipse. As we do the self-care, this is another reason why Diana and I wanted to come on now, because we like to take that time for private time, for going in, talking to our guides and all that stuff. And it doesn't have to be all day, but this weekend is huge. It's to build up to the solar eclipse that is exact at 7 in the morning Eastern time tomorrow. That's going to play out all day, and then on as Neptune and Venus are conjunct right next to each other, then Neptune is going to change signs on Sunday into Aries. This is and then what? Monday is Venus star point,
and Mercury follows, and Venus comes. They're all going to be.
I mean, they're right there like this.
Yeah.
And Venus will become a morning star on Monday at her star point. So that's what we love and value. Now she's still retrograde, so let her, they're all kind of marinating with us, bringing us what it is that our hearts are wishing for. So make sure what you're leading with your heart, and your heart gets to decide. Don't listen to what the ego and the mind say. Oh, we don't have enough money. There's not enough time. Don't look at it like that. There's unlimited everything. Your divine spark of the divine. So that's just, I hope that helps. And we will be back. I don't even know what day it is, Diana. I don't know. Well, we're on the 28th.
And if you're outside in the early mornings of dawn, just before pre-dawn, or during the warmer days, you'll be able to see Venus early in the morning with the sun shining. But that's when she'll be out there, and this is her warrior phase.
This is it. And
she's not yet. They make no mistake.
Right, and she is
my
pissed.
God, turn me off.
She's pissed, and don't forget Black Moon Lilith is over there, so they're ready. They're ready to fight back. They're with their wisdom. All right, guys, we love you, and we will see you on the 12th. Is full moon, and I'm not sure what right now. So we love you, and we'll see you soon.
The weekend's not going to be any saner than any week that we have gone through so far. So more of the same. Only let's look at it this way: more secrets being divulged.
Absolutely. More secrets are coming. And then the next full moon is Libra. So after these next 2 weeks of all these things that are about to be revealed to us, then we're going to get that balance. We're going to start balancing and stabilizing. But just remember, no matter what you hear out there, it's crazy. Go inside, stay with yourself, nurture yourself. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
Just
breathe in, breathe.
Just so many drop downs are coming. I mean, they're just coming left and right.
Oh my God, it's crazy. The information right now is just flowing in. I think everybody had that kind of day, and it's not going to stop. It's just not for the next couple of weeks at least, so stay focused on what it is you prefer to experience. And we love you, and we will see you at the full moon in Libra.
All right.
So grateful for you all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We love you.